Well, welcome to High Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Happy International Tabletop Day here on Saturday, April 28th of 2018. I want to welcome you all. Anyway, today I decided to do a tabletop game in celebration of that day. And this is a game I have been playing quite a bit last fall, a little bit over the winter, but not recently. But decided to pick it up again. Been wanting to pick it up, and decided today would be a perfect day to do that. So this is a game that I was introduced to by Peter Miller on his YouTube station. So check that out. It's under Solitaire Pro Football. Basically, a game that I printed and played. I emailed the owner of the game. Peter Miller provided a link in his description, and I'll provide one in mine, of his email address. And you just email him, and he'll send you a chart, with all the prices on it. It's really, really inexpensive game, but has been around for quite a while and has developed quite a bit over the years. I think it's been around since at least the 80s, I want to say. Maybe before that. But it's a game that's really fun to play. A lot of stat keeping. Yeah, there's a lot of housekeeping and stat keeping, which I like. And I was going to play the first half and then, off camera and then do the second half. But I decided I'd just delve right into it right here. I did watch his video again just to refresh my memory on some of the rules and stuff. But so without further ado, let's get this game underway. It's a game between the 2016 San Diego Chargers and the 2016 Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The board I'm using here is from ABC Monday Night Football, a game I played back in the 70s. I ordered my own copy on eBay. Comes with little records and everything, which does play calling and everything. Very fun game. But I decided to use the board for that to keep track of it, and the quarters and the downs, that kind of stuff. Not so much the plays, but anyway, so that's the game here. So let's get this game underway, and I'm not going to go through how to really play it. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check out his Peter Miller's video on it first, because if I were to do that, it just takes a lot longer to do. So you can check out that video. I'll go through a few of the things, but for the most part, I'm just going to rely on you having a basic understanding of the game. So all right. So first, we're going to do the kickoff. Got the old Matt Chat coin here that I got from Matt Chat. I'm going to use this as a flip here. The rats will be heads, and Matt's face there will be the tails. So we'll flip it. We'll have Kansas City call it, and here's the flip, and it's going to come out heads. So Kansas City is going to receive. They like to receive. And I am going to keep track. I keep track of the time of the quarters and everything. There's a little way off to the right. There's a little timing chart, which I'll show you. Kind of gives an idea of how to do for each of the plays there. Runs are 30 seconds. Passes are 30 seconds. Now, if there's a penalty for any of this stuff, it's 15 seconds for a run and 10 seconds for a pass. And then you have your hurry-up stuff right there. And you have like a 2-minute slow down offense, all that kind of stuff there, which I'll get into later once we get into that. Let's see here. So, all right. So each team, which I'll show you right here, has a team card. These numbers right here in the left right here will determine what play calling card you use. Now, there's different play calling cards here. This is the A play calling card. I believe it goes A to O. and depending upon the type of offense that they have and the defense that they're facing, they'll use a certain play card. And these are kind of like examples of them, A through F, and then it goes G through L, and you can see there's different types of play calling. These are like basically what the coach would call, all the way up through O in that 2-minute offense there. So that's the San Diego Chargers list right here, and then the offense and defense have numbers which come into play. And this game is all run on fat cards. There's no dice rolling or anything like that, so it's all fat cards. Comes with 100 fat cards, and you can order extras if you want to do more than 100 fat cards. But after they get to the bottom there, or at the end of the half, or whenever this starts to get low, you reshuffle them to mix them up. And again, you have your rushers, receivers, and ends. And right here, you each have ratings, which will come into play, which I'll kind of, as I go into game calling, I'll mention that. Then you have your kick returners, punt returners, interception returns, punters, kickers, ratings, all that kind of stuff, which all that stuff's included on the fast action cards. Now, the record was 5-11, so they weren't very good in 2016. And then you'll be facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Put that back there, which were a lot better, which were 12-4. Again, they have their rating here. Now, what this is right here, just to explain it here, this is a offensive rating here, and then this is an adjustment to the other team. So, for instance, and again, I guess I'll go explain some of these things. So, San Diego's rating is a 20, and then Kansas City's defensive adjustment is 0. So that basically means that their offensive rating is a 20. Now, so they were using a certain card, play calling card, based upon that, and that would be the A play calling card. Same thing here. Kansas City has got a 22 rating. San Diego's adjustment is a -2, so that would be 22 minus 20. So they're also going to use the same play card. Most of the time, it's a different play card, depending upon the adjustments, but in this case, it just happens to be the same thing. So I'll show you. And the rule book is about 20 pages long. It's not very long, but it's very detailed and very a lot of good examples in it. But as you can see here is your play call cards. So with the 20 rating right there, they're going to use the A. If it goes under 20, then they're going to use the A. But this A through O, the play calling cards, depending upon the offensive and defensive adjustments. So both teams are going to be using the A play calling card. And just to show you what's on that card is you have your downs, first, second, third, or fourth down. And then you have, so there's 3 types of plays using this primarily. It's, there are 3 types of plays: run, short pass, and long pass. So depending upon what the fast action card says under the play calling, those are the type of plays you're going to use in those different situations. Like, for instance, if first down it's 11 or more, you're going to use a run for 1 to 16, short pass 17 to 45, and a long pass 46 through 50. But when you get down to say third down, and you have a similar situation, well, actually 8 or more yards, then you're going to have a lot less chance of using a run 1 to 9, short pass 10 to 44, and a long pass 45 to 50. So it's going to be a lot more chance of a short pass there than a run. But anyway, that's just you'll see how those come into play as we start to play. This right here is your fast action deck right here. Again, I printed them out and cut them up, and those are your off the cardboard stock. And again, all this stuff gets emailed to you, so it's easy to print and play it. They don't offer any printed copies as far as I know right now. You pretty much have to copy it or have access to be able to copy it, like at a Staples or something. But anyway, so all right. So Kansas City has won the toss, and they're going to kick off. They're going to receive. So I'll be using these charts right here, which have all the ratings on them. Right here. It's basically the same thing as the team cards, except it's a score sheet. So, I mean, it looks like a lot, and it is kind of a lot. But we'll just be playing that. And each rusher and each receiver has a certain R rating right there, and that means they have to receive, like for instance, Melvin Gordon right here has 13 rating right there. So he'll have to receive 13, rushes, sorry. He'll have to receive, he'll have to perform 13 rushes, before, and then these guys 3 and 1. So use the top 3 rushers right here. So before this guy can do his 14th rush, these guys have to have performed their number of rushes here indicated. This guy would have to do, Farrell would have to do 3, and Hillman would have to do 1. So basically it kind of balances the offense to what the actual uses were. And then this one right here, for the receivers, it's the backs don't necessarily count towards this, but each receiver here would have to do their 3, 3, 3, and 2 before each one of these guys could do their 4th, or this guy could do his 3rd. But anyway, so just to keep the offense balanced. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but we'll hit those as we go. And again, watch that video that Peter Miller has in order to get a better understanding of the game. All right, so basically it's just flipping fast action cards. So we'll start with the ball at the 35 there. They will kick it off. I think it's the 35 they kick it off now. It might be the 30, but anyway, it doesn't really matter as far as that goes, as you'll see. So the first card gets flipped over, and on this fast action card, I'll just go over the first one here. You have a whole bunch of ratings and stuff on here. The main number we're going to look at is right here in the corner here is the play number. So that's going to be the first thing you look at, and then we'll look at other stuff based upon that. And again, it looks really complicated, but once you get to use it, it's not really that bad. Not really that hard once you get used to it. All right, so the first card gets flipped, and so it's a kickoff. So you're going to look at kickoff. It's going to be a kickoff to the 1 yard line. So they're going to kick it off to the 1 yard line. Again, San Diego. Actually, I should have been over here. Yeah, no, that's right. Here off to the 1 yard line. So that's where the kicker will receive it, the returner. And then you flip another card to determine which returner is going to return it. So as you can see on this one, it's you look at the KO punt return right here. You look at the play number and determine which return or kickoff returner is going to receive. So it's a 31. So if you look at Kansas City, you look at Tyreek Hill, his ratings right here. 20 to 30, 1 to 19 would be Thomas, and 20 to 37 would be him. So it's 31. So Hill is going to return. Okay, and then you flip another card. So he's got it at the 1 yard line. He's returning it. And then you look at the kickoff punt return there, and it looks like this is going to be a big play right away. So it's going to be longest. So we'll look at his, and he has a average and a long. So Hill is going to return at 86 yards. So already Kansas City is in good field position, as he got it at the 1. So 86 plus 1 is 87. So it's going to return all the way to the 13 yard line. Now there are chances that there could be penalties and stuff on the play, but none of those were drawn. So that's going to bring it all the way to the 13 yard line. So now, then on the sheet right here, and again, the reason I kind of went with this too is I started to play it and I saw that it was going to be a big play, so I wanted kind of you guys to see that. But and then you kind of just mark the sheets right here according to the plays. And I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna take these up right now, so you guys aren't like you see all these all these things and get overwhelmed with all this stat keeping. But I'll keep that off camera, and I'll bring the board down just so you guys can see more of the action and stuff. So anyways, that's what you would do. It's kickoff, ball to the 1 yard line. It's a return type of play, short pass, long pass, return, punt, that kind of stuff. Player that did it, and 86 yards. So here you would mark on his punt return right here, 86. So we returned to 86 yards. Anyway, I'll take these off camera here just to bring the board down a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more of the action. These up here. Bring the score sheet up here. There we go. All right. All right, so it's first and 10 at the San Diego 13-yard line. So already they're in position to score. All right, so now, it's first and 13. So what we're going to do here is look at our chart right here. Actually, we'll flip a card first. So it's going to be a 7. So it's first and 10. So it's going to be a run. So 1 to 20 is a run. First and 10. First down and 10. As you can see right here, 1 to 20 is a run. So it's going to be a rush. Now, I'm going to determine which back to use. San Diego, I'm going to use the guy that ran the most is going to be Ware, Spencer Ware. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Kansas City. Let's get my other sheets here. All right, so Kansas City is going to use Gordon. Gordon is going to rush. He rushed 13 times, so we're going to use Gordon. All right, so now Gordon, so it's going to be a rush. And then what you do is you flip another fat card. And it's going to be the, all right, so the run is going to be a breakaway right there. Okay. So it's a breakaway. So already that's taking out a whole bunch of different things. You also have a chart here, which I didn't mention before. It's a special action chart. So for breakaways and stuff. And again, this isn't used that much. It just so happens that we're using it a lot now. But it's going to be a breakaway chart. So we're going to look at this thing in a second right here. So, and again, if you have watched that video on Peter Miller did, a lot of this stuff, will make more sense probably. Will make more sense. Okay. So let's see here. What are we doing now? So it's a breakaway. So what we're going to do is when you do any plays, this is a rushing play. We're going to look at, again, get the right one here. We're going to look at Gordon's average. Gordon's average is, Ware's average is a 3. So he's going to have a 3, but it's going to be a possibility of a breakaway. So let's look at that. So if this is a 1 to 36, it's going to be a breakaway. So let's flip another fat card. 32. So that's a 32 result there. So that 32 falls within his 1 to 36. So we're going to look at you can see here, it's got a little 3 in parentheses right there. So we're going to look at the breakaway chart. So was that 3 I said? No, it's an 8. Sorry, it's an 8 in the rating. So we're going to look at 8 right here. So he's not very much of a chance for a breakaway. So 8 is 1 to 3. We're going to draw another fat card, and if it's 1 to 3, it's going to be whatever his longest gain is on his card, which for Spencer Ware is a 46. So he's only 13 yards to go, so it would be a touchdown. But anyway, so 1 to 3, we draw another fat card. Comes up to be a 27. So that 27 goes there. That's not 1 to 3, so it's just going to be, so it falls in here, short gain. So we're just going to flip another card. And the short gain on this card is going to be average, which is, his average is a 3. So 3 plus 18, well, it's 21. He doesn't need 21 because they're within 13 yards. So that will be a touchdown for Ware. So on the first play right there, Spencer Ware takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. All right, so that's a touchdown. So now we're going to go for the extra point here. So the Kansas City Chiefs have, let's see here. Kicker is Cairo Santos. And his extra point rating is a 1/46 XP right here. So we're going to flip another fact. And it's an 8. So that will be extra point will be good. So Kansas City goes on top 7-0 right away. And there's no time run off the clock for the extra point. Okay. All right, so now Kansas City will kick it off. I think it might be the 30 right now. I can't remember. I think it was 30. I think they did push it back. Did they push it up? I can't remember. I think they might have pushed it up. Anyway, it doesn't really matter in this as you've seen so far. It just matters what the fact card brings up. All right, so now, and again, normally you would have 2 play calling cards, 1 for each team, but this just happens to be, they both happen to have an A cards, which makes it a little easier. You don't have to keep switching them out. So now Kansas City will kick it off to San Diego. So it's going to be kicked off to the end zone -5. So now San Diego can decide whether or not to take it out. I'm going to look at their kick returners and see what their averages are, because it might not be a good idea to bring it out because they're already going to be -5 in the hole there. It's kind of deep in the end zone. So let's take a look at San Diego's. So San Diego Chargers. So it's going to be, get my pencil here. Getting used to doing everything on camera here. So let's see here. Let's see who's going to return it. Well, let's just look at their averages. So averages are 20 and 19 yards. So chances are, even with adjustments, we'll bring it out. We'll bring it out this time just to show you, and give you an idea. This may not be what they have done, but all right. So we flip another fat card. So it's kicked off 5 yards deep in the end zone, and kickoff there is to the 3-yard line. I mean, kickoff punt return. Actually, we're looking at the 5 rating there to determine who's going to return it, and it's going to be Burse. So it's 1/16. So Burse will return it. Okay. So Burse is going to return it, and then you flip another fact to determine what he's going to do with it. So he's going to be average -2. So his average is 20 yards there, -2, so it'll be 18. But you got to remember, it's 5 yards deep in the end zone, so that 18 will change to a 13. So maybe it wasn't a good idea to bring it out, but he brings it out to the 13-yard line. So that's where San Diego will set up shop here at their own 13, which is ironically where Kansas City started, at the same exact yard line. So San Diego has it 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. All right, so San Diego has it 1st and 10 at their own 13. And I'll flip a fat card, and it's going to be a rating of 15. So 15. 1st and 10 is going to be, it's going to be another run. So this time it will be Gordon for San Diego who's running it. And you can see Gordon right here has an average of 3. And those are his breakaway numbers, so we have to, but we'll go with it. Most likely it's probably going to be his average plus or minus something. So average is 3. Now, trying to think. One thing I don't think I did on the other one is I don't think with a breakaway with a breakaway it did make a difference. But in this one, because you're supposed to add the defensive rating into it. But anyway, we'll do it with this one. Actually, with the breakaway, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay. All right, so right here is going to be, so let's see here, the run. It's going to be, so we're looking at now this number right here, the D. That's going to be defense. No, well, the D doesn't mean defense, but D is the rating. And let's look at this right here. So each team, so this is the Kansas City Chiefs defense right here. If you look at this right here, each team has adjustments according to the run into the pass. So D for Kansas City would be a 0 adjustment. So in other words, so that 3 average for the running back does not get adjusted. If it was this right here, if it was a C, then it would start off, his average would start off at 1. So this right here is the defensive adjustments, if there's anything on that average. So it was 3 for the runner, and then it's 0 right here, so it's going to remain 3. And then the next card you pick to get the actual run. Okay, now we're going to have a penalty here. So what we do with a penalty here, getting everything at once it seems, is we continue the play, finish out the play, draw another fat card, and then determine what the penalty is, if any. So, okay, so its average was 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, so it's going to be a 6-yard gain before the penalty. So we'll see what that is, if anything. So it's going to be a 6-yard gain for Gordon. All right, so now we resolve the penalty. And so what we do is we, before we do that, is we go on to the penalty right here. And as you can see, San Diego's offense, Kansas City's the defense. So if the number falls between 13 and 38, the penalty is going to be on the offense, which is San Diego. If it falls outside this range, meaning 1 to 12 or 39 to 50, they up to 50, then it's going to be against the Chiefs. So let's see what that is. So 13 to 38, it's against San Diego. So it's a 37, so it is going to be on San Diego, so that play will come back. So negate the 6-yard gain there, and then we draw another fact, and we look at the penalty area right here. So the penalty area, O is offense, D is defense, of course. It's going to be minus 10, so it's going to be a 10-yard penalty on San Diego. So that will be the play right there. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty on San Diego. So I'll mark that down here. So San Diego gets set back, so that's going to bring them all the way back to the 3-yard line. So it's going to bring up 1st and 20. From their own 3-yard line now. So let's see here. All right, so now it's 1st and 20 at their own 3-yard line. And it's going to be 18 is going to be the play. So it's, again, now it's 11 or more. So at 18, we'll be outside the run range. So it'll be a short pass. Okay. Now with the short pass, what you look at is you look at the quarterbacks right here, which is Rivers. You look at his short pass rating. That's short pass, long pass, and it's interception rating, scramble rating. How many passes he attempted. So anyway, so it's going to be a 10, and then we're going to add. We're just going to go to the primary receiver here. We're going to go to Williams. So 10, and you're going to add 3, for Williams. So 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to see if there's an adjustment for the defense, and there was an A on that, so it's an A. So that's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs defense right here. So it's going to be an A. So there is a -3 adjustment on the pass right here. Now this is right here if it's within the 15 yards of the in the red zone there in the 15-yard line. That's in a different rating there. But here it's going to be A, so it's going to be -3. So that would be 10 plus 3, which is 13, minus the 3, so it's going to be 10 now. And what we do is we draw another fat card. And this time we're going to look at down here, which is all the passing areas right here. So that 13 is going to change to a 10 now. So it's going to be PR, which means pass rush, and there's a little F in here, which means it's a possible fumble. Now C stands for completion, IX stands for interception, and then there's a regular PR without any possibility of a fumble. Anyway, so this is a PR with an F in it. So pass rush fumble. So now what we do is we look at the quarterback scramble rating. So he's just a 1 through 6. So if it falls within a 1 through 6, he'll be scrambling. Okay, actually I was wrong on that one. So what we do now is if there is the pass rush, we look at, let's see here, right here as you can see, pass block rating of San Diego is 26, and pass rush rating is 27 of Kansas City, so a really small window in here. So if this number falls within here, then there is going to be a pass rush. Okay, so I just really looked at the rule book and everything. So if the rating falls between the pass block and the pass rush right here, then it is a sack. Now if it falls, so that means that San Diego has a very good pass block rating and Kansas City doesn't have such a great pass rush here. This would have been a higher number, like 30 or whatever, then there would have been a bigger window. But now there's only a small window here. So if this does not fall within it, that means the quarterback does not get sacked. And now we have to look at it and see if he's going to scramble or not. Now this is when you look at Rivers' scrambling rating, which is 1 through 6 here. So now we're going to draw another FAC, and it's a 39 now. So he does not scramble. I mean, he's not going to be scrambling now. That means he avoids the pass rush, and he's going to see. So we have to see if he's going to complete it once again after avoiding the pass rush. All right, so that 39 rating, it falls outside Rivers' scrambling rating. So that means he is going to try to attempt the pass again. And that was a 10 on the card. So now it would be... so it's another pass rush one. So you wouldn't go by that because you already determined that he wasn't going to go... he avoided the pass rush and everything. So we're going to see if it's going to be a completion or an incompletion. So 10... Now there's a possibility for an interception. So it's an IX. If it would have been a blank, it would have been an incomplete. And then complete, C is complete, obviously. So IX is going to be a possible interception. So we get all kinds of stuff happening here. So now, with the interception possibility, we're going to... And again, it really seems a lot more complicated than it really is. Once you get used to this, it's really not that bad. All right, so now let's see here. So interception. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that the pass was for the receiver was caught, and we're going to see we're going to basically complete the play and see where the ball would have ended up where the interception is. So now it's pass gain is average plus 5. So Gordon's average is 10 right here. So in a completion, I'm sorry, not Gordon. Williams would be a 15 here on an average, and it's plus 5, so it'd be 20. So it's 20 yards downfield is where the interception took place. So again, what we did was, to summarize what went on this play, Rivers went back for a pass. He avoided the pass rush. He didn't scramble. He attempted another pass. and then he passed it downfield, and it was intercepted. And it was we just determined where it was by taking the receiver where he would have been plus the average plus 5 yards. So it would have been 20 yards downfield. So at the three, the ball's at the 3 there. So at the 23-yard line, Kansas City picks it off. So not San Diego not having a good time so far. Okay, so now what we do is we look at Kansas City's defensive chart and determine who picks it off. So if you look at your defensive chart here, which is right... Oh, actually... oh, that's on a separate thing. So if you look at Kansas City's IX return right here, that means who intercepted it. So we flip another fat card. It's a 44. 44 is going to be Ron Parker. So Ron Parker intercepts it for the Chiefs. So we have to mark that on his sheet. So he intercepts it at the 23-yard line. So interception by Parker at the 23. Okay, and now what we do is we draw another fat card. So his average is 1 and his long is 1, so he doesn't really return it for much after the interception. So we will flip another fat card and look at the IX return. So the IX return here is just average plus 1. So his average is 1. So he at plus 1. So he returned it 2 yards after the interception. So he returned it to the 21-yard line. Plus 2. So Kansas City will have it now at the 21-yard line. So I'll have it 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of San Diego. So they turn it over. So again, we can't get our first down. So it's 1st and 10 there. So Kansas City has it now 1st and 10 at the San Diego 21. So they're set up shop. So San Diego not having a good day so far. So I gotta get the Kansas City sheets here. And again, it's been a little while since I played it, so everything's just coming back to me now. But once you get going, though, it's really everything really does flow really nicely. Really is a great flowing game. All right, so 1st and 10 now at the 21. So 1st and 10. I'll set this right up here. All right, so San Diego has it 1st and 10. Kansas City. So I flip a fat card. So Kansas City on offense now. And 28. And again, they're not with 28-yard line. Oh, and also too, a long passes, you cannot do a long pass. It's either 15 or 20 yards. I think it's 15 yards from the end zone. You have to go with short pass. So 28 now, so it's 1st and 10. So it's going to be a short pass by Kansas City. So Alex Smith is going to go back to pass. And he's got a short pass rating of 12. And he's going to go to, very good. And he is going to go to, I'll make it to Kais. So he's got a 4 rating, so excellent opportunity here. So 12 plus 4 is 16. And we'll see what the defense is. And now it's not within the 15, so we got to check. The defense here is A. So it's A for San Diego. San Diego on the pass. So it's going to be an adjustment of -1. So that 12 plus 4 is 16. So that'd be -1, so it'll be 15. So 15 now. So we'll look at the 15 rating, which the higher the numbers, usually the greater chances of completion usually. And as you can see here, look at all those completions on this one. P is penalty. All right. 15 is a completion, so it's going to be completion to Keys. Now, the adjustments for defense, when it's a pass, go against that rating you look up there. When it's on the offense, it goes against the average yards. Rushing, it goes against the average yards. And again, it's all explained pretty well, very well in the rule book. So now Keys gets completion. It's going to be an average of 12. So we'll see what the completion is now. So it's average of 12. There's no adjustment on that. And now we'll look at short pass right here. Short pass, or just pass gain. This would be if it's a long pass. Pass gain. So it's going to be average plus 5. And we said it was 12. Yep, so 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. So it's going to be a 17-yard completion. So it's going to go from 21 all the way to the 4-yard line. So that's another first down there. So Kansas City moving the ball. So completion to Keys for 17 yards. All right, so it'll be first and 10 at the first and goal at the 4-yard line. So Kansas City once again threatening. All right. So I flip another fat card. So it's going to be 36. So now we're looking at just 4 yards here. So first and 9 or less. So it's going to be 4. And it was a 36. So 1 and 24 is a run. So Kansas City is going to go for another short pass. 36 there. So this time we're going to go to the next receiver down. So we're going to go to Tyreek Hill. And again, now if it's goal line, which is within the I believe within 10 yards. I think it's within 10 yards. It's either within 10 or within 5, but we're within 4 right now, so either way. So it's got his rate. The ratings change sometimes. In this case, they stay the same. Sometimes they'll go up. With the running backs, a lot of times they'll go up, but in this case, they don't. Okay, so in this case, so it's going to be 3 rating for Hill. That's if it's a well, it is a pass. So 3 plus 12, so it's 15. And the C, it's a C adjustment, so it's C for the, now again, this is within 15 yards right here. So this is going to be, see, it went from 0, but Kansas City really tightens up in the red zone, so it's going to be -3 right here. So it's going to go from a 12 plus 3, which is 15, to a 10. So now we're going to flip another fat card. It's a short pass, 10, and there's a penalty on the plate. So we're going to flip another fat card, and it's going to be incomplete because of the blank there. So the pass is incomplete, but we'll see what the penalty is. So now again, we look at the penalty chart right here. The score here. Again, 14-38 falls within Kansas City's offense. So that will be against Kansas City if it's 14-38. And it's a 15, so it does. So it's coming back, so it's against Kansas City. So then we draw another fact. See what that penalty is here. Oops. So PE, so it's against the offense, and it's a pass, and it's going to be 5-yard penalty and loss of down. LOD is loss of down. So there's probably some intentional grounding or something there. We get to move this now. So it's second down now. So that's going to back Kansas City up 5 yards. So it's still going to be first and goal at the 9 now. So we'll mark the play on this. Show short pass. It was a penalty against the offense. Oh. Actually, this is just going to be a penalty in here. Offense. and it's a minus, so I put -5 in here. And again, I'll down here, you can't really see it, but there's a place down here you can mark all the penalties up here. So I'm just going to put a minus. I'll make it a, let's see here. I'll make it a +5. I'll put it on here, but that just shows it's against the offense, because I separate the offense and defensive penalties. Okay, so that's 5 yards back now. So it's going to bring up 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line. All right, so 2nd and goal now. And okay, so it's going to be a 2, which is most likely going to be a run. So again, that's from the 9 or less, so that's going to be a run. 1 to 24 is a run. So we're going to have Ware running again. So Ware is a 3 rating. And oops, I should have got the defense. Sorry, the defense off of this card right here. Actually, I should flip another card to get to the defense, I believe. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. So it's A. So that's A against, and they're within the 15, so A with a run. So there's no adjustment for the San Diego Chargers defense. So they're not very good in their red zone inside the 5-yard line. So it's a 0 rating there. So that is and he is an average of 3. So it's a 3. So we'll see what happens here. So it's average -2. So they stopped him just for, so 3 minus 2 is 1. So he just gets 1 yard on the play. So now it's going to bring up, that should have been still first quarter. Now it's going to bring up 3rd and 8. Oh, 3rd and goal. So that was a rush by Ware, where he just got 1 yard on the play. Okay, so now it brings up, oh, and again, I should have looked at this one right here. It was 2nd and 8 or more, so that still would have been a run because it was a 4. So I should have actually looked at the run right here. Anyway, so now it's 3rd and 8 or more, which is 3rd and goal at the 8. So it is going to be let's see what it is. 15, so it is going to be a pass, which is more likely to be a pass anyway. It makes sense. So 15 is a pass. We're going to go to Hill again, since last time it was a penalty on the play, so he didn't get credit for a reception or incompletion there. So we're going to go to Hill again. So it's a 3 plus 12, 15. And we'll flip another fact just to get the defense. So C. So that C is a pass. So C here is, yep, it's within 15. So it's a -3. So that's going to be a, so 12 plus 3 is 15, minus 3 is 12, so it's going back down to 12. So now we'll do this one right here, 12. Pass rush and a possible fumble. And now we'll get this one. We'll get this one right here. So pass rush, possible fumble. So again, look at this right here. Between, oh, now it's different here. Kansas City's pass block is he has a 22, and pass rush is a 31. So San Diego much better there. So anything between a 22 and a 31 will be a sack and a possible fumble. So 22 to 31. 19 falls outside of that. So there's no sack on the play. So now we get to see if Alex Smith is going to scramble. See, he has a much better scrambling rate than Rivers does, 1 to 23. It's a 10. So he avoids the sack. Avoids the rush, and he's going to scramble. So we look at his scrambling rating. not a scrambler rating. We already looked at a scrambler rating. His average, Alex Smith, is 2. So it's going to be a 2-yard gain on that one. Trying to think if there's an adjustment on that. Yes. Alrighty, so it's just for the quarterback when he scrambles, it's just going to be his average rating, scramble rating, which if Alex Smith is a 2. So it's going to be a 2-yard gain for Alex Smith. So that's going to bring it down to the, was that this 8? So it's going to bring it to the 6. So that's going to bring up 4th down and goal at the 6-yard line now. So Alex Smith with a scramble. So that was 3rd and goal. So it's going to bring it Smith and 2-yard gain. And is this rush? So it's going to bring it 4th and goal at the 6-yard line. So Kansas City is going to opt to go for the field goal now. Try to get some more points on the board. So we're going to look at, okay, so these are the ratings now for the field goal for Santos. So for a 1 to 19 yard field goal, 1 to 46 on the fat card will be good. For 1 to 29 yard field goal, 1 to 45, so not much of a change there. For a 39 yard field goal, 1 to 42. For a 49 yard field goal, 1 to 40, and 50, it's not bad. 50, it's still a 50-50 chance there. So this is going to be from the 6-yard line, and you're going to add, how much do you add now? Is it 7? I think it's 7 yards you add to this. Let me check to be sure. No, it's 17 yards you add to it. 1973 and before would have been 7 because of where the goalposts were in the middle of the end zone. But now it's 17 yards. So it's 6 plus 17. So this will be a 23-yard field goal attempt by Santos. And so 23 falls in the 1 to 29 here. So it's going to be a 1 to 45 on the fat card. It will be good. Let's see. 28. Field goal is good. So San Diego goes on top by a score of 10-0 now. So all right, so I'll give you guys a little idea of how to play the game. A few different types of plays there. What I'm going to do probably is I'm going to cut the video here, and I'm going to pick it up again in part 2, probably in the 4th quarter, the start of the 4th quarter or so. I know this went a little long, just for, we only got like 3 drives done. But again, a lot of just explaining. I wasn't planning on explaining, but you kind of have to, at least the first time I do it. So we're going to pick it up in the 4th quarter. Right now, Kansas City's up 10-0, and there's approximately, I think, like 10 minutes left in the quarter. So we only got through like 5 minutes of play, but in like 45-50 minutes, so it doesn't take that long. When you get it down, you can usually do a quarter in about a half an hour, maybe a little less. When you get really good at it, I was probably doing a game a little over an hour, like an hour and 15 to an hour and a half for a full game. So it does take a while until you get used to it, but it is lots of fun and it does flow well. So we'll be back here with the start. I'll probably go to the start of the 4th quarter when I get to that. So take care, God bless, and we will see you in part 2, game between the San Diego Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs using Solitaire Pro Football. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now. Alrighty, so this is something I just wanted to add after this. When I was reviewing my video there, looking at it, there's one thing I didn't do after the interception. When it showed up being an IX on the, show you right here. when this right here ended up being an IX before, that's only a possibility of a interception. So I did not do that correctly with Rivers. What I should have done, and I'll show you really quickly now, is I should have gone to Rivers' interception rating, which is a 21, and compared it to Kansas City's IX rating, which is a 26. So if it falls between a 21 and a 26, then it is an interception. So probably would not have been an interception there. So that's my bad on that one. But anyway, I'm just going to go as if it was. Again, 21 and 26 would have been an interception in there. Now there is another thing here. So that's when you look at the range in between there. When there's a quarterback that doesn't throw a lot of picks, which Alex Smith is a quarterback that doesn't throw a lot of picks, then what you have is you look at, if there's a little star after this, 1 through 9. That way, then you don't look at the defense. You just look at the offense. Like Tom Brady would probably, I think it's like a 1 through 5 or something like that. But anyway, Alex Smith, a 1 through 9 right here. You would look at that. And if you draw into the fact and it falls in that, then it's an interception. Otherwise, it's not. So again, fortunately, it just led to a field goal. But I did call that incorrectly, so I just wanted to correct that. And anyway, we'll see you in the next video when we'll pick up the fourth quarter. Bye-bye now.